cryptocurrencies. What do you reckon, Marsh?
I am just I don't know. I got those euphoria feelings. I mean I hope the bottom's not about to fall out because I want to mortgage my house and buy more Bitcoin, but I don't even have a house. Like I want to steal somebody else's house, mortgage it, remortgage it, take a flash loan out and buy more crypto. Like as much as I possibly can get my hands on.
What do you reckon, Dan?
And
Does that sound responsible?
I don't know who Dan is. Dan has been replaced today by the DGen Chad for today's episode. And I'm buying everything I can. It's a green day. It's all going to pump. We're going to the moon. That's all I got to say.
oh, bullish sentiment.
Just reckless bullish charging. I love it. I love it. Some of the biggest moves today, we had DOT, we had VeChain on the back of its pump. Some really, really big moves. We've had some of the other significant alts sort of cool off a little bit with Cardano, Binance, Ethereum. That one is just slowly creeping up. We had some bullish news today where we had Grayscale pumping their bags. It was approximately about a $93 million purchase of Ethereum today, which is excellent. That's cutting
Very
out some of
exciting.
that's circulating Ethereum. It's just no good. You don't want excess Ethereum, especially when you've already packed your bags. You want that to sort of disappear and you be the only one that's holding it. And we also had, what would you call it? Anyway, we got Stellar. We got XRP's main competitor for the banks. Creation of CBDCs. Did I say that right? CDBCs, whichever one it is.
CBDCs?
CBDs,
Central Bank
CBDCs,
Digital Currency, CBDC.
CBDC, and yeah, that
Say
one had
that
a
five
cheeky
times
pump
fast.
today. But other than that, there was nothing really crazy in the large caps. It was just a good green day overall, and that was reflected in the Bitcoin dominance we have here. It continues to essentially get just keep passing that 200-day moving average line, you know, which is bearish for the Bitcoin dominance, but ultra bullish for our altcoins, which is definitely reflected in the Coin 360 chart there. And Ethereum, it's still on its way to Mars there. I will zoom in on that
Hmm.
one because this stuff gets exciting.
Yeah,
What do
where
you?
was Mars? Mars is at like 2000.
Hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, what do you guys think? It seems like we got sort of like a mini rejection off the recent all-time highs. Now that the CMEs and everybody is picking up Ethereum, what do you guys think is going to happen? Is it going to hang out here for a while, or are we just going to blow to Mars like next week?
I don't know, like if because it's such a large market cap, it's always going to be one of those slower movers. I do know there's a lot of hype for it. I do know there's a lot of institutions buying it, so I do expect it to keep pumping. But it's just not going to be one of those ones that'll move as quickly as what some of the other large cap alts will. They're smaller sort of market caps, but um, I think we're going to do a slow creep here. And I think especially if we get to 1900s, we might see it sort of shoot up. But I expect a few sort of rejections around the 2000, and then, but if we were to break 2000, yeah, we might just sort of use a gravitational pull off Mars to Saturn there. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, some,
That would be good. I mean, we know at one point or another we are headed up in that direction into the outer reaches of the solar system. But I'm just curious, Mr. Bender, a true Chad like you, are you picking up tons of Ethereum right now?
All right, Marshall. Good guys. I just have three words to say for you guys on this subject. They are as follows: rogue green candles. Things are going
Mm.
to just kind of chug along slowly, and then all of a sudden, bam, out of nowhere, we're going to get gigantic price movement shooting up the charts. This is not something that is coming out of the blue. We saw with Bitcoin. We're going to see it with Ethereum. I guarantee it. Rogue green candles, guys. Rogue green candles.
dream.
RGCs. Yeah, you got to
But
watch out for those RGCs. There, I really agree with that sentiment. Honestly, there's got to be
but
some weird news story. Maybe Elon's going to pump it, and yeah, you'll probably see that
I
25%.
think I think that's an excellent segue into from our bags pumping today into the hottest news. Marsh, did you want to take it away with 1inch?
Oh man. Uh
This one was
Yeah,
a,
this
a
sort of
nice
made
little
my day
surprise.
yesterday.
It did. It was an
It
easy
sort
as
of
a
made my
gimme.
day yesterday. It's it's hard out there for a Chad. You know what I mean? It's
Mm. Gas fees are high.
yeah, it's
It's tough on the Uniswap.
it's
Yeah, it's a,
insane. It's insane. I mean, I, I wish I was more of a whale personally. I mean, I think we all wish we had just a tiny bit more ETH in our pockets. Um, so every little bit helps, obviously. And with gas being, it really is crazy. It's pricing so many people out. You know, a swap these days is costing $40 to $100, and if you have smaller bags, that is pretty brutal. I think we're all aware of what's going on with that, and so is 1inch. And basically what they did yesterday is they got a little sort of blowback from their most recent airdrop because they only gave the airdrop to people that had used the platform and in a certain way. And as they say here in the article, they did get some pushback from people because they didn't give an airdrop to people that were providing liquidity, which is obviously something that is more intensive, shows even more support. And they didn't give any airdrops to people that use Mooniswap, which is their actually AMM that they started many
I do
months
remember all the
ago.
tears from the first airdrop about from Uniswap. They collectively
Yeah,
got together and they all sent the same message to the 1inch Twitter, just saying, "Why did you forget about Uniswap?" And yeah,
yeah,
understandably, liquidity, giving liquidity it is a big commitment because and you know they I know liquidity when you provide liquidity, you know, it ranges and it differs from each other, but you know, some of it, like you're getting, sometimes you're locking it up for inevitably or very long periods of time, and you know that's a lot of risk in that, and you definitely want to keep those sort of people. You want to reward those people because the ones that take the most risk should be the ones that are most rewarded. Otherwise, what's the point of taking the risk?
yeah. It's risk and early adoption. So yeah, obviously, if you're providing liquidity, that's sort of already next level. Most people don't even really even feel comfortable with that. They just want to buy tokens, and then there is all that impermanent loss issues, all those other things. And yeah, and then obviously people that have been in the game for a while. Um, Yeah, it really was. This was a long time ago, and I was just trying to figure out what do I do? Uniswap? Oh, I heard about this other one, Mooniswap. That sounds better. It has moon in the name, and I did use it a couple times, and but then sort of forgot about it because yeah, it just didn't have sort of the hype, the traction. And then yeah, when I checked on the first airdrop, I was like, guys, what's going on? I use Mooniswap. Like I'm like early supporter or whatever, and then so I felt a little snubbed personally.
Yeah, one
But
hundred percent, man.
this did exactly the opposite. I now love 1inch, and I think they're pretty cool. Um, yeah, and just to fill out this what went down here because it was a little complicated. It was based on how they're giving so many different people tokens. It was based on if you use the platform in the past, so they filled in some of those gaps with right, giving the airdrop to the liquidity providers and giving people that use Mooniswap all those moons ago. They're giving them the airdrop, but also people that have never used 1inch at all, people that are just chads on Uniswap. So if you had traded more than 20 times last year and you had to trade more than 3 times this year, which under these gas conditions would require you to be to Chad a little bit. They're just airdropping you straight up tokens, and we're not talking just like a little airdrop. We're talking multiple thousands of dollars worth of tokens, and so it is really sort of another stimulus phase for the Chads out there. And I think the community really appreciates it, especially in a time like now when people are questioning the future of DeFi on Ethereum and sort of jumping ship. Obviously, the trend is moving to good old BSC. So I don't know. I was super pumped. I gotta just hit that air horn because I was very excited, and I'm gonna try not to sell all of my 1inch and do some staking with it. Not financial advice, not financial advice. But generally just sort of bullish now on 1inch. I'm hoping they can sort of turn this corner, and they have a gas solution. They do. They
100%,
have some
man.
support there for
The
you guys.
1inch definitely would have picked up a bit of street cred there amongst the eight casino regulars, and there's no better way to do it than giving them a cheeky stimulus. So they'll probably wait. I think they'll probably wait for the gas fees to go down before they start putting it into the ape pokies or degenerate pokies. But yeah, it was a beautiful sight, mate, and definitely made my day. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Did you get an airdrop, Mr. Bender?
I did, and I got to tell you, I was super impressed. I mean, 1 inch instantly turned into 6 inches for me, and it was a great morning. No, but it's actually a brilliant move. I mean, if you guys remember back in, I want to say September when Uniswap released their governance token and just stole back all their market share from SushiSwap, the entire impetus behind that was the airdrop, and that's what started the whole thing. Got a ton of publicity, and you see 1inch pulling the exact same move, basically stealing not only the users from Uniswap, but also a page right out of their playbook. It's a huge marketing move, and I got to tell you, I had never actually used 1inch before today, but just looking at the platform, it is actually insanely. I can't even describe it. It's so much
it's clean.
better. It's clean. The
had limit orders.
Has so many more extra features. They have built-in customer support right on the front page, like price charts built in. You can see all the different liquidity pools that your transaction can route through. And this extra functionality, this extra transparency that 1inch is offering, I really feel like they are pushing Uniswap into a corner, and they're going to have to fire back with something incredible to keep up.
Definitely agree. I mean, it's interesting that it's not just an AMM like many of these other ones out there, that it's actually aggregating all these AMMs together and trying to find you the best price. Which, and I had to read what 1inch is, like a Bruce Lee reference for the 1inch punch. It's all about efficiency. It's all about chi. And I just like the imagery. I like the branding. Good on you guys. Nailed it.
Yeah, definitely worth a shout out to those guys. They're any sort of airdrop is for the people. But let's crack into a bit of other news. This one is big. This one's a little close to home for me. So we have the ASIC has now opened up a Bitcoin-linked ETF listing on ASX. This is big. It's not really big, but it's big from a marketing perspective for Bitcoin to be in investors' faces. It's not that one of those things that they see on TV and on some of the news articles about Bitcoin going crazy. It is now in front of all the traditional investors' faces. Every time they load up the ASX.
Sorry, Gooding. Just as an American, I only know what one of those acronyms means. Can you sort of help me out there?
Yeah. So so ASX is the Australian Stock Exchange. It's the only stock exchange that I'm sort of aware of. There are a few other little ones, but there's only one. We're not that big to have multiple. And ASIC stands for Australian Securities and Investments Commission. So any sort of regulation that you can expect on blockchain or cryptocurrencies, it'll come from these guys. And they have like a sub branch called Money Smart, which goes into the weeds about cryptocurrencies. So this is good. This is regulation, and it's taken the time to go. All right, we're now going to put this in the market, and we're going to make sure investors are safe. Yeah, and I know there's arguments against that as well, but I don't see any harm in this case, and I think it's a good thing.
That's a trip. We saw the Canadian ETF the other day. Sounds like Australia's getting their ETF. It's funny to see these things actually happening that people have been speculating about and hoping for so long. Is Bitcoin going to get an ETF? No, it's never going to happen. It's a scam. It's a scam, guys. It's a scam. It's going to zero. It's going to zero. But then it just happened, and now people are just sort of still in disbelief. I think Apple's getting on the board, Amazon, Uber. It's like the list is getting too long to even talk about. It's just there's so much bullish news, so many crazy things happening every day. You think people are going to buy this ETF, Gooding?
Look, they will. The traditional investors will. Everyone loves ETFs. They're usually a safer investment to some of them, some of the other sort of investments out there. But yeah, look, it's good. I don't think it's a huge game changer. I think it's something that's just now going to be a little more common on the the main platform of the ASX, and I think that's really, really, really good. But here's a bit of news here, Marsh, straight from the US. They've
What do you
approved
got?
a 600 bill, benefit here.
Oh yeah,
Did you
yeah.
want to
Bring that
talk to this
helicopter
one?
money. Bring that helicopter money. Kill the price of the dollar, and just everybody's going to put it in a Bitcoin at this point. What you? That's what they're hoping for, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Got a
looking good.
real life airdrop, huh?
Yeah, no, I love the one-inch airdrops, but I love the U.S. government airdrops. It's awesome. You don't have to do anything; they just show up in your bank account.
Yeah, because you don't want to pay for your rent with your Bitcoin. You need that dirty stimulus money from the US to pay for that, right?
Well, yeah,
Well, I
to
mean,
be honest, I wouldn't want to pay for my rent with my normal money either. Put it all into Bitcoin anyway.
no,
We're aiming in,
exactly.
guys.
It's like, yeah, yeah. No, why pay your rent? You can just say you don't have anything. You got to stack that Bitcoin. Not financial advice. Not financial
Please,
What
sir,
I
my family, my village.
advice. My
what
village, guys.
I do want to go into, and this is one of the things that I love about the cryptocurrency
Yeah, this
community.
is huge. This is huge.
You know,
Sorry.
and we
I'm
have
just
some
pumped.
we got some big names here that are actively making sure that things, this network doesn't fall into issues, and that they're essentially just creating, in this here, Jack Dorsey, one of the co-founders of Twitter, and Jay-Z. I see Jay-Z, and everyone takes the piss out of rappers, but I think
I love
Jay-Z's been one of
Jay-Z.
the early adopters of Bitcoin. So a bit of a shout out to the early adopters here. But these guys, incredible. They put down about, I think it was about 500 Bitcoin, so it's about a $23 million investment there to Bitcoin development in Africa and India. And it's going to be interesting how that goes in India, since they've recently just banned cryptocurrencies.
Interesting. Maybe the
But
ban is maybe the ban is just FUD that's not actually going to materialize. Maybe
well,
maybe
yeah, very funny you say
maybe.
that, mate, because last time we were seeing articles coming out of India, saying they're going to do the ban, and then there was like, not banned, banned, not banned, and it ended up being all bogus anyway. And then they're like, all right, we're gonna look at this ban at a later date. So now we're hearing the ban's coming back in, and now Jack Dorsey's like, are you sure, guys? There's 500 Bitcoin right here if you want it. So
They're banning the ban. They're trying to ban that ban. Let's
So
make a banner ad for this ban.
it'll be interesting. I just like the idea of this community support. They're getting that awareness out there, and these guys are probably well off. They can afford this sort of thing, but it's good to give back and just sort of just give that that Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency community a bit of a push there, and I think it's really good to see.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and it's very interesting how we're starting to see more and more mainstream, like celebrities, essentially, start participating in the conversation. Over the past couple of days, I've actually seen several, I wouldn't say like current A-listers talking about crypto or even Bitcoin, but I'm sure some people have heard of Lindsay Lohan talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and Tron even, I think, was something that she tweeted about, probably a paid shill from
Hmm.
Justin Sun.
Yeah, maybe she
But
got
it's
hacked. That sounds like an accident.
yeah, and by video too, and they impersonated it. It was a very elaborate deep fake.
It was a deep fake. Yeah.
Unless
But
we
I
have a
also
new indicator now of when we sell our
Oh
Bitcoin.
yeah. Whenever Lindsay
It's
Lohan
Lohan.
tweets, yeah, that's
and
the ultimate FUD. Yeah.
and it was so funny because the other day I actually saw not Norman Osborn, what's his name? Is it
Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald? Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald was tweeting about Pickle Finance, guys. He was tweeting about Pickle.
Well, it's funny to think that, like, right, the celebrities, they got the cash, other rich people got the cash, but they might also do some degen research and realize what's going on down here in DeFi and be like, hey, can I throw $1 million at Pickle? Like, what would happen? He's probably considering it.
I still chuckle about this sort of stuff. Just the concept of putting, potentially, millions of dollars are going into these food named cryptocurrencies, and don't get me wrong. I know the tech is usually pretty good, but you're investing in something that's called pickle or kebab, pancake. It's just funny. I love the space. I can happily lose money if as long as there's a meme in front of me, making the experience still worth it.
No, it's the culture that will sustain this bull run. I'm thoroughly convinced, because once you get the deeper you go into crypto culture, then Chad culture, then DJing culture, I think it just gets better and better. But that's just
100%.
my vibe.
We've seen Dogecoin. It just hangs around, doesn't it? And it's the backstory that sort of keeps it going. Like a meme coin, that was a hard fork of Litecoin. I know I won't go into it too much because we have talked about it quite a bit, but it's just incredible to see people just get behind something that's just ridiculously funny. And it's good. I like it. I think it's really good for the space.
Yeah, for sure. And sorry, I just want to bring up one last influential figure talking about cryptocurrency. And this one is kind of near and dear to me, but if y'all been following Sushi recently, you may have heard that the man himself, Mark Cuban, has invested big into Sushi.
Yeah. No, there's obviously something in the works for the entire Wi-Fi ecosystem, and it's Sushi, as far as price action, has just been melting my face. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just mind blowing. We always make this joke that we sort of predict. I mean, you, Mr. Bender, predicted Sushi was going to be big. But we were a little more conservative at the end of last year, right? We were hoping for $3, $5, and it has smashed all of those expectations. It is mind blowing, and that must mean that there's something next level going on in the background, because their product is already pretty amazing. But yeah, just Mark Cuban, that guy knows stuff. He talks to people. I don't have
very good pick, Dan. Sorry, DJ and Overlord. Very good pick, and a lot of us spend a lot of money off your research, mate. So, a bit of a shout out to you there. Here is a little bit of news that I do want to share, and I'm sharing. This is just a little quick one. It's really good to see Bitcoin. Yeah, it really is becoming a beast. Now, I know a lot of the websites, I haven't really updated the Bitcoin's market cap comparison to the Chinese yuan and the US dollar yet, but last time I checked, it's still within the I think it's within the top 6, might even be a little bit higher now. But once they update that, I'd very much like to see. So I just love to see Bitcoin's market cap worth more than these very popular investment firms and banks. It's just good, it's like a bit of a up yours sort of thing to to the man, these institutions that make money off the mums and dads that, that don't necessarily know how to invest. And they're always subject to the manipulation of spoofing. We saw JP Morgan get fined $900 million last year because they're spoofing. But, and they can consistently get done for this sort of stuff. And they don't care, because that $900 million fine, that's chump change to what they're actually making. They'll probably make billions of dollars off their spoofing techniques. So, I just like this. People are really getting behind something, a currency that's decentralized. It's not particularly owned by some sort of government or privatized group. I'm sure you guys will agree with me on that one.
It's so bullish.
Definitely.
It's
guys, if you support decentralization of currency, if you guys support taking down the man, taking down JP Morgan, taking down Bank of America, go ahead and please smash that like button. Like, share, retweet, get the word out there.
And link to your mum. It's
do it. Just do it.
Really good journey.
I'm talking to you. You're thinking about it, and you're still just watching. I'm sorry. I don't mean to get aggressive. I don't mean
hashtag hold the line, hashtag diamond hands, hashtag forever.
But what I do want to bring up is something. It's really good to sort of see these commercial banks, innovating as well. So as much as we hate banks, sometimes we love banks, a little here and there. And this one here, it's not one of the biggest banks. This one's worth about $250 million. However, it is a commercial bank, Blue Ridge Bank in America. And now they are providing Bitcoin ATMs. Bitcoin ATM software within their own ATMs. So this is good. This is great. And I know there's some negative. It's not really in sync with some of the decentralized concepts that we all want. However, there's a lot of people out there that that don't necessarily have the technical know-how to be able to look after their own money. There's people that can't afford to send $20,000 worth of band to the band contract address. Sorry for the member who mentioned that one, but what I'm saying is that some people need a bit of guidance, and if banks can, I do know they're making a profit off it as well, but this is just another little step towards mass adoption. We now have banks saying this is basically a bank declaring Bitcoin is okay, and we will deal in Bitcoin here. So it's good. It has its place within the world. I do love decentralized. I try to use a digital wallet and keep my own keys and all that sort of stuff. However, this form of centralized finance still has a place, regardless of how much we believe in the decentralized nature. And shout out to these guys. What are your thoughts, gents? I know that can be a bit conflicting.
Oh man, it really is. It's quite a time to be alive. This is often how sort of mass adoption goes on many different subjects. Something starts off as sort of a seeded, cool idea. You should start it cool, and maybe it's like illegal. Maybe it is sort of like using it for bad stuff. And then there is this like long progression that happens then, because that's sort of how you seed the idea into the culture. You give it to the cool people, and then people just sort of hear about it on the fringes, like, oh, what's that thing? Oh, it's kind of cool, but it's also dangerous. It's also bad. And then that gets people just in general more excited about it until we're really at this like flippening, this inflection point where, you used to be sort of a degen, a gambler for going into crypto. And now it's sort of the opposite. If you want to actually be responsible with your money, then you would be irresponsible not to have any Bitcoin. It's like a hedge against what's going on out in the world. And just with everybody, it's like every story we pull up, it's major institutions, it's major players switching the entire sort of infrastructure over to this cryptographic magic money system. And we're past that cool guy phase. We're headed into this is just what everybody does now phase. And
it's the norm.
I think I definitely think we're still going to see mooning prices, but this is all sort of signaling that, this is just all going to get normalized. And of course you're going to pay with crypto. Are you joking? Otherwise, the fees and scammers, like Wells Fargo is a scammer. They open fake accounts for you and can do all this sketchy stuff. And if it was all on the blockchain, they wouldn't be able to do that anymore. And I think it would just clean up. It would like blockchain itself is a self-controlling regulation system. And I think, financial system is in desperate need of something like that, because I don't trust JP Morgan. I don't trust any of these people. I trust the blockchain. And I think people are realizing that as well, and that it's time to move to that system, because I don't know, that's just my vibe.
That's why we're here. And what are your thoughts, Dan? Do you feel empowered, having control of your financial freedom? What are your thoughts, man?
The degen overlord says that this is good, but we should take it farther. Let's take all of the cryptocurrency, leave none for banks. This is for the people, guys. Take it all, leave nothing for the big guys. The little guys are rising up in rebellion. We're coming back. When we're taking back what's ours.
There you go. Yeah, words of wisdom.
DeFi's that revolution.
I might just dive into the chat here. We had Slice Factor. What's your opinion on Pi? Mate, Pi is a network that's, from my understanding, is on the on cellular devices. I think there could potentially be a lot of issues with having Pi on different types of devices that have different types of capacity, because you might find that you get sort of bottlenecks within some of the devices. But at this stage, it's very early, mate, and I don't think any of us can really sort of talk to Pi, where it's going, or whether it's an investment. However, it's free, it's on your phone. They claim that they don't use any of your data, which is good. And it's you may as well mine it then if there's no risk, right? But to be honest, mate, we'll need to see more develop about it, of its network. Right now, I don't think there's any sort of utility for the actual token itself. Very early days. It's essentially a heap of people, three people from Cambridge. So we're gonna have to wait out for a little bit more data on that one. And a bit of a shout out to Natty and Statically Available. Cav, always good to see you supporting the channel. We got Trade Sharp and D. Love you guys. All right. What do you got for us here, Marsh?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to rapid fire just some more. I don't know. It's also insanely bullish. Miami passes a resolution that will allow Bitcoin payments in the city because, yeah, that's what we're seeing with the banks, with the market caps being moved through. It's like everybody just needs to set up the infrastructure, basically. But a lot of systems actually are already digital, like ATMs, like other sort of payment platforms, because it has to come from both sides, right? You got to be able to get the money out, put it on your phone or whatever, and then people also have to be able to accept it. But yeah, as we see, like Miami, the city itself passing this resolution, it's just more sort of insanity bullishness. And I obviously expect other cities to join in on the fun as this goes along. And then I don't know what's next. Federal adoption from the U.S. government.
You know what I'd love about this? If you get paid Bitcoin before tax, I think that would be brilliant. Everyone loves
right,
avoiding tax. So this is awesome.
Yeah, all I am thinking, all this signals is that there is going to be some sort of very serious, at least in America, because we love regulation, some sort of very serious regulation about Bitcoin that you'll probably have to register with the IRS your Bitcoin wallet address. You can't just go sending it off to go degen away without the government finding out about it. So I expect something like that to go down. But that was inevitable, and it is in general pretty bullish. What is also bullish, I find, is this sort of mistyping fake headline: Bitcoin price to hit $500,000 this week. The chances are.
Yeah.
Oh man, we are again live. That was exciting and also terrifying. Yeah, I'm curious if this is still going to be part of the same video, if there's just going to be a little gap in there. This is all about research, We love to research degen coins, but we also love to research YouTube and OBS and all the other exciting things that go into making a YouTube channel. So smash that like, guys. We're here for you. We're real people. That's what we are. What do you guys think?
I apologize. I want to say that was probably the degen overlord's fault for putting in a massive buy order on everything and then crashing the entire network.
That's what I mean. I think we are sort of getting a little close to the truth here, and I know there's just sort of some general problems with that on YouTube. Once you start saying things that are actually true too much, it just makes them mad because they don't. Yeah, it confuses me too. Actually, I don't know why they do that, but I think we're onto something here with the Bitcoin stuff, guys, because it's happening. It's happening already, and this is I see this as sort of the window is closing for you to make sick gains, at least on the mega caps, and the regulation is coming. So keep doing that research, guys. That's all I would say.
Just look at your chart there, Marsh, on our video analytics. It was good to see that we were bottomed out on concurrent viewers, and we're now hitting all-time highs. So it's really
that's the thing. That's the thing. Sometimes you got to spread a little FUD to generate interest again. Right? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you can thank the degen overlord for that too. I bought the dip.
Oh, there you go.
Nice,
So many people are
nice.
buying the dip here. Oh, the dip is rising. Anyways, yeah, we talked about Miami. Yeah, we were getting into this guy because that's sort of what I was talking about. Is like, we can debate whether this guy knows if 50K is not half a million or not. But having sort of a
Mm.
fake $500,000 Bitcoin headline is mega clickbait,
Yeah, like he's got
and
no
that's
excuses for this because it's not like he just added an extra zero or a couple of zeros,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
This is he spelt it out and everything. So
Well, I just
it's
know
very
it's a little confusing. Like in German and some other European languages, they say a different word for billion than we say. It's really confusing, actually. They say million for million, and then mallion. They like change it, but it's still the M word for billion, and then billion is the word for trillion. And I don't need to get into the language thing. Yeah, that's all I could think. It could be the sort of a language barrier, but I lean toward him totally just making clickbait, and I see that as extremely bullish as well. And I did just want to kind of briefly bring up. I don't know if you guys know about what's going on, just with the soft user generated fork and what's it called, Taproot and Schnorr. It is really interesting what's sort of going on with Bitcoin under the hood. Because they're trying to sort of optimize it still, fix some of the block creation and mining aspects there. And it's interesting. There's just a couple major sort of mining groups, and they do get to sort of decide what the best way to roll out these new changes are. And there is, I guess, contention between some of these mining groups. And it is interesting when you read through this. There's all of this money flowing and all this institutional interest. All the celebrities are buying it up. But when you read through this, it still feels like a little shaky. The new proposal could maybe not get passed through. The new proposal could cause like a soft fork, and something that users would need to choose to do. And that is just for this is very interesting to me that this is still sort of it doesn't the Bitcoin network doesn't run itself. It does need to be decided and worked on. Yeah, and curious what you guys thought about this. What's going on here in the background with Bitcoin?
It is interesting, isn't it? Like this is one of the things that sort of makes me a little bit nervous because this is the one network that cannot die because it'll have catastrophic effects on all cryptocurrencies. More from a fund perspective, right? We know fundamentally and utility-wise, cryptocurrencies, it hasn't changed. However, if Bitcoin were to go down and the network were to, have any sort of issue, it affects everything. And that's why you got to sort of really, if you want to invest in something and, I know DGen Overlord doesn't care for this sort of thing because, he's in and out of his trades, right? But, for those who are looking at cryptocurrencies as a long-term investment, they need to be aware of this sort of stuff because, you can go from hero to zero very quickly if the Bitcoin network were to go down. And, you need to keep a finger on the pulse of those who, have the power to potentially change something within the cryptocurrency, within the Bitcoin network.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna change my picture back just to talk seriously about the Bitcoin, the mining network, because this is actually a very important topic. I mean, the entire consensus method, the entire mining network, everything that Bitcoin is built off of is kind of dependent on this trustless system because you can attribute the trust in the system to people working in their own favor. By doing what's best for them, they also uphold the network at the same time. And they do this because they are financially incentivized to do so. And if we are creating these proposals, which does not have consensus amongst the miners on which is the best method to use, then we get these soft forks, we get the hard forks where people split the mining hash rate and therefore lower security on the network. And that's a huge problem for the long-term success of Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. That this is supposed to be this global currency. Obviously, somebody does need to run this network, but that the network itself is really consolidated, just like I guess most of money things, into just a handful of companies that have so much control and power over what the future of Bitcoin basically is. And this was the scariest part of the article to me. And this is not FUD. This is just what is going on. There's these different proposals, BIP 8, BIP 9. It's not without criticism. On a short timeline, it could potentially trigger a chain split if Activision is enforced without sufficient consensus. And that's, I guess it really is just like the same story. I mean, this is just what humans do, I suppose. They consolidate power, and then those consolidated few fight amongst themselves. And I guess, that is sort of the scary part. What if Bitcoin.com doesn't like what Poolin decides or whatever, and then they start sort of a war? They split the chain. I don't see that actually happening, but it is crazy that there's the potential there.
Yeah, look, let's just, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to say, those who are heavily invested do not have selfish intentions, because, if there's something that is not, good for everyone, then everyone stops believing in the network and it devalues itself anyway. So you'd be a fool to compromise the integrity of the network or the integrity of, the what Bitcoin sort of represents.
Exactly. This all this kind of talk, even from these big guys, they may be just generating FUD on their own to pump their bags. You got to think about that as well. Oh no, we're gonna fork the Bitcoin. We're gonna fork the Bitcoin, guys. We're gonna screw it up. Ooh, sweet dip. Ooh, look at that sweet dip.
DJ Overload's back, and he is saying, "FUD it all the way. Fork it as many times as possible. I will be scooping up all of your Bitcoin."
Bitcoin is a scam. It's a scam. This has all been a LARP from Apple and Jack Dorsey and literally everybody in institutional and entertainment. It's a LARP. It's probably going back to zero, guys.
Yes. Speaking of opportunities here, I've been doing a bit of research for those who are sort of, counting their Ethereum, from their hefty gains. I've been looking into DAO Ventures. It's something you guys might want to have a look at. It does have quite a bit of hype around it, particularly on Twitter. But so far as a product and utility, it looks good. I will go into more detail. I'm yet to find the tokenomics, unfortunately. I don't know why they're hiding it. Hopefully it's just because they left it off the light paper. But once I get that, I'll be punching a video for you guys very soon. It does launch, I think it's this Thursday or it might actually be. Anyway, it's on PokerStudy, so you can double check. Guys, do we have anything else for our awesome community?
Yeah, I mean, we should probably talk a little bit more about launches. If you guys want to hear more about sort of the DGen news as well, let us know in the chat. I did want to mention that Polka Markets is also launching very soon. I believe this Sunday, depending on your time zone. And that's got just also insanity hype behind it. So something to watch out for. Polka Markets.
Crypto Cavalier will be aping in.
I did put it on your video, Marsh. There, I put the time and the date there for everyone to sort of view from the Adapts account. So it's all there for you guys.
Yeah, not financial advice, but some people, possibly $80 million, will be aping into Polka Markets.
And one thing I just want to share with you guys real quick for our viewers, if you too would like to get a measure of just how Chad you are, let me go ahead and share screen here.
Oh yeah, no, I'm hoping we can get sponsored by these guys, because I think it's a really cool idea that they had.
Not a bad idea, actually.
If you're out there, what are they called? Atomic Blue? Yeah, if you're out there, Atomic Blue, reach out to the Adapt team, because legendary product you have here.
All right, but this is super easy. It's hilarious. The tab actually plays music while you're on it. It's got the OG
Can
Windows.
You play that music?
Well, it should be going now. I'm not sure the thing's going through.
It's not going to feed through. It's okay.
Yeah, but all you have to do is connect your wallet. This one does appear to be safe, but don't leave it connected, obviously. And then once you have your wallet connected, just tap that APIN button, baby. It will ask you to sign, just so you can verify that you're the owner of the wallet.
At the top right.
Yep, via MetaMask. Oh, there it goes. I'm not sure if you guys can hear, but it is playing the music.
That's just
Look
We
at that.
sitting
can't hear it,
comfortably
but
on
I'm
the
like
chat.
adding some music.
Yeah, but check it out, guys. DGen
Does
score
it-
385, verified Chad. Not a
Does it-
DGen, apparently.
Ooh, not a DJ
I
yet,
love the
But
but
scored up.
stats. The stats like CP3R simply wrecked past
Simply
75 points.
well, yeah, they that's what I love about it. They came up with like badges and awards for the DGens. Yeah, if
This
you
one's
buy,
my favorite.
Yeah,
One
what do you-
inch better than
ANM.
2 centimeter token. These guys are awesome.
yeah. What are some of your badges you got, Bender?
I got a DeFi baptism. This one's my favorite. We got the hipster AMM. We have our Iron Bank for the win. And apparently I am no, not quite at 3 times leverage. But yeah, these are fun things just to do, just to kind of get a sense of how much you are adopting the DeFi space. And we have a leaderboard. Unfortunately, I am nowhere close to the top of this leaderboard, but rest assured, the DGen Overlord will not stay at the bottom of the rankings forever. We're moving up.
Yeah, you gotta go out and buy some rug pulls just to increase your DGen score, Bender.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, that's
Top 100 gets access to this beta. And this is one thing I just wanted to bring to their attention because I thought it was kind of cool, and there is not a lot of information out on it quite yet. But if you read actually on this pop-up tab, we have Atomic Blue is the fastest real-time DEX aggregator, bringing you the best rates across all on-chain liquidity. Now, obviously right now, this is a bit of a meme and it is hilarious nonetheless, but that means that something is in the works behind the scenes and we should be keeping an eye on it. I know I will be.
Yeah, please, Atomic Blue. If you want some Chads on your team, then you know where to look. Basically, we got your back. Yeah, I mean, I think this is something. Yeah, we should show the people, because how many people have even checked their DGen score? It's really only a couple thousand, but that's where all that true creativity. That's the part about a crypto culture I love. Where there's really only not that, a couple thousand eyeballs on something, but somebody's put their heart and soul into the product. Beautiful art, cool music, all those like awards and stuff. It's just so creative. And if I can enjoy creativity while making sick 10x gains, then I don't know. It's a cool life. I got to admit.
Guys, go ahead and try this out. Post your high scores. If you can beat my high score, I don't know what I'll do. You guys tell me what I should do if you beat my high DGen score.
Oh,
Nice,
man.
nice. Alrighty, that about wraps it up. I just want to say thank you very much for the community for supporting us. And if it's something that's important that you want us to discuss and talk about, just let us know. Let us know in our Telegram. We've got a Discord. We have a website. So let us know on any of those platforms, and we'll make it happen. Catch us later.
Later.